Hi, I'm Brian Russell. I want to welcome you to Introduction to the Old Testament, OT520. It's my privilege this semester to serve as your instructor, and it's going to be my job to help each one of you to excel in this course and to master the topics. Again, you have to do your part too, but I just want you to know up front that I'm for you, and I'm going to be rooting for you and giving you tools and tips and tactics and be present as much as I can, even though this is a hybrid course, but I'll be present online and I'll be attentive to your questions that you have throughout the semester. Now, check your syllabus and make sure you see when our on-campus time is going to be. That's going to be critical. It's parts of 3 days on campus. The rest of this is online. So we're going to begin at the beginning of the semester, and we'll have assignments all the way to the end of the semester with that 3-day hybrid. Not quite in the middle, a little bit after the middle of the semester. So make sure you're aware of that. Now, I have assignments, particularly reading and discussion, due at various points up till the intensive and after the intensive. So I have it broken up, and so that we'll be having reading reports coming in and have some discussion on the reading in advance of the intensive and then again after that. I'm also planning to supplement our intensive with at least 2 Zoom sessions where we can gather together online. Again, I know everyone can't make certain times, so what I'll do is, for those who can't make it, I'll be videotaping the entire thing and posting it as a video, but I will have some live opportunities where you can engage me outside of simply the intensive time when you'll be here with me in Orlando. Now, the projects that are going to be due is, we're going to have a map quiz that'll be done during the intensive. There'll be plenty of instructions and about that online. We're going to write an essay about the authority of the Old Testament and its how it supports ministry. We'll do that in class during the intensive. You'll also be turning in reading reports for your weekly reading and participating in the discussion of the reading. That'll be on online forums. We'll have several online forums before the intensive and then some after the intensive. You're going to be writing a research paper, a short one, but a research paper. Make sure you watch the videos and the instructions specifically about how to do the research paper. I would encourage you to begin thinking about that early in the term so that you can begin gathering resources to do a good job on that. And then there will be a final exam for this class that you'll have. You'll take this on your own once you're back home during exam week. You'll have about a week that you can turn it in. I'll have a study guide. We'll have a gathering on Zoom to make sure everybody's ready for it. But that will be a comprehensive exam on everything that's covered. So do make sure you're taking notes on the videos that I post for this class. There will be videos before the intensive and after the intensive also that we can wrap things up. So make sure you take notes on the videos. Make sure you have a general idea of the arguments from the textbooks. I'm not going to go in and ask questions about pictures and things in the books, but I am going to ask some questions that would assume that you read the textbooks. So make sure you're aware of what's going on in those. And that's going to be the semester. Let me show you the books quickly and talk about them. Now, our primary text, of course, is the Bible. You'll be reading key chapters out of the Old Testament. I would encourage you to get the most out of this class that you do the scripture reading and perhaps even read more of the scriptures than are required. The more of the Old Testament you read, the better you'll do in this class. And ultimately, as pastors, teachers, scholars, counselors, whatever your calling is, the Old Testament is really 2/3 of the Christian scripture. So make sure that you know what's in those books. Now, our main text is by Bill Arnold. He's a professor in Wilmore. This is an introduction to the Old Testament, and it deals in traditional introduction matters in a really engaging way. Bill's a good writer. You'll enjoy this book, and he talks about the content of the Old Testament, the background, key themes, and critical issues. In terms of the history of the Old Testament, I had you buy an atlas. Again, I mentioned there's going to be a map quiz. It's not coming out of all the maps here. But you do want to be aware of the geography and also the flow of the history. And I would suggest not reading this word for word. Of course you can, but what you want to do is you want to skim through the atlas to get a sense of the different historical periods, the major powers, and you have a sense of how Israel fits into the big story of the ancient Near East. Then we have 3 shorter books that we'll be reading that are supplemental to the Arnold book and the Atlas. First is by John Oswalt, who was a personal mentor of mine. He still teaches in Wilmore as well, The Bible Among the Myths. And Oswalt deals with the Old Testament as unique revelation in contrast to the literature of the ancient Near East. What makes the Bible special when compared or contrasted with the mythic literature of the ancient Near East, and why is it really inappropriate to call the Bible myth? So this is going to be a key text for conversations that we're going to have. Brent Strawn, this is a brand new book, has written The Old Testament is Dying, and he's focusing specifically on the role that the Old Testament plays in Christian theology and the danger of the modern church losing its message. And so I'm looking forward to sharing this book with you and studying it together this term. And then you have a chance to read my book, Realigning with God, which is a missional reading of the entire Bible, which is one of my actual specialties. And I'll show you specifically how the Old Testament fits into the overall missional message of the Scripture. Again, I'm Brian Russell. It's going to be my privilege to serve as your instructor. If you have any questions at any point in the term, reach out to me. I'm here to serve you, and I look forward to seeing all of you during our hybrid in Orlando. Again, if you have any issues, we can talk in advance, and have a wonderful day, and just jump in and get everything that you can out of this class.